But what about this attack on Echo Base I mentioned? Well, according to the archives, guys, it's always a pleasure to have you tune in for these videos. The Paul Duncan Star Wars archives are truly the gift that keeps on giving, because not only can we talk about some cool theories that pop up on the book, but also examine stories long forgotten that might make some intriguing tales today. And like Master Hu Yang alluded to before, our story today takes us back to the far reaches of Hoth. Now perhaps a chill ran down your spine there, because mine sure did. The wintry mix billowing everywhere and seeing the troops with their heavy coats certainly creates that effect. Before we dive into the surprising history from the archives, let's take a little moment to talk about the Wampa itself, the fearsome predator that made Luke Skywalker's time on Hoth unforgettable. Wampas are native to the icy, frozen plains of Hoth, apex hunters perfectly adapted to the brutal climate. Their massive, muscular bodies and thick white fur camouflage them in snowstorms, allowing them to ambush prey with terrifying speed and strength. With razor-sharp claws and powerful jaws, they're capable of taking down even the largest creatures on their native planet. And some legends say that the Wampas have even stalked the icy wastes for centuries, fiercely territorial and largely solitary, except when feeding or mating. Their howls echo across the frozen tundra, a chilling warning to anyone who dares enter their domain. This deep-rooted presence in Hoth makes the idea of them launching a coordinated attack on Echo Base all the more scary. You see, the Wampa that Luke encountered in The Empire Strikes Back, although they seemed isolated in their existence, they actually lived in much greater numbers, allegedly, on Hoth. In fact, there may have been many more nearby, so many that there was a plot where it seemed it was imagined that the Wampas would have taken over Echo Base and perhaps mangled our heroes and enemies. So for that, I'd like to turn your attention to pages 296 to 297 of the Paul Duncan Star Wars Archives. Now, when you look closely here at this image labeled 3.151, you see the massive arm, a paw of a Wampa mangling a snowtrooper, him seeing the last bits of his life. And it's in this clip for greater exaggeration. You can see the power of it up close when it tries to kill Luke. But what about this attack on Echo Base I mentioned? Well, according to the archives, the first draft script features an attack on the rebel base by the indigenous ice creatures who attempt to take back their territory. Even though the Imperial attack became the focus, there was still a Wampa attack in the shooting script, and this was filmed on Elstree. Here's an Imperial snowtrooper that's attacked by a Wampa. The daily shooting logs for April 2nd to April 3rd, 1979 show the production difficulties filming setup 44A, where R2-D2 moves through an ice tunnel, and then a Wampa smashes out the wall. 4 cameras poised for the Wampa to smash through the wall. Des Webb just did not have the leverage to knock through, and there was no usable take. At the beginning, the Wampas are mysterious figures in the backgrounds of scenes, creating a tense atmosphere, as seen here with R2-D2. It echoes of The Thing, Another World. As the scene progressed through the week, shot by the 2nd unit, the Wampa breaks through. Rebels are thrown around by the monster, and they eventually kill it with a bazooka. It takes 5 days of filming and 15 setups to complete, but it was later deleted and moved. So imagine that, the Wampas in another place and time, where they were so abundant that they almost attacked the base, or perhaps they did, and the rebels fended them off. Maybe the rebels were able to strike a deal with their chieftain, or perhaps the Wampa being simply waited for the rebels and Empire to leave, to reclaim their territory for their own. Personally, I'd love to see some sort of episode, maybe of The Mandalorian, where Mando comes to Hoth and has to battle his way out of the ancient Hoth base. It would be, admittedly, a pretty cool callback, but also a way to explore a darker story many of us have been left wondering about for a long time. And with my ideas out there, I'm curious to know, what do you think of this revelation from the archives? Do you think the Wampa monsters were planning an attack all along, or was there a greater plot in the midst? So if you haven't already, don't forget to head over to Paul Duncan's socials and show him some love and support. If you can, I definitely recommend buying this book. I've truly been loving both of them so far, and if you're a fan of Star Wars, I think you'd love it too. In fact, I'd even suggest they make a great gift. With that all being said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video. If you happen to be in snowy terrain with blizzard-like conditions, be on the lookout, or well, maybe just avoid that area altogether and seek shelter. And as always, stay safe. May the Force be with you always.